that has a couple view controllers. The video view controller we'll get into in a little bit. First thing we're going to look at is the audio view controller. Let's pull up the nib. So if I go into audioview.xib, you'll see there are a few buttons here. There's play short sound, there's play long sound, and then there's skip back and skip forward. So I'm going to hook those both up. The play short sound is going to hook up to system sound APIs, and the play long sound is going to hook up to this one's AV audio player. Who said that? Okay, so that's our nib. Let's go into Xcode and see exactly what's implemented here. So we start off, that's the video view controller. We go to the audio view controller. And here we have a method. Let's look at the header really quick. So we have a couple of IB actions here, a few here. We have the play short sound. All of these correspond to the buttons play long sound, skip forward, skip back. And let's look at the implementation. So in our play short sound, so when I click that play short sound button, it's going to call the play short sound action here. It's going to get this twang.caff out of the main bundle. It will create a system sound ID from it. And then it's going to play that system sound right away. Yeah, that's that. So let's run. Oh, yeah? You can give me the brief, and I'll fill up people in. So we have the policy for when you should and should not play audio during the ringer switch. So we're going to find that out for you. OK, so here I'm going to play the short sound. All right, and you just hear it once. OK. Now when I play it several times in a row, you actually hear it interrupts the previous time that it plays and starts it playing back immediately. Right? It's going to be a cool hip-hop sound. Anyway, I can't rap.
What's the why CAFF? I've never heard of that format.
Question is why CAFF? I don't know. I don't know why, but I have a love for AIFF. I don't know why. It's just a preference, I think.
No, but what is CAFF? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know what CAFF is, or what the difference is between that and AIFF. I know AIFF in a wave, I believe, is an endian swap. I'm not sure what the difference is with CAFF. OK, so that's the short sound. That's the system sound API. Do you want to jump in on the ringer switch? All right, here. Josh is going to tell us about why we need to use, why you might want to play audio when your ringer switch is turned off.
So as Al said, there's actually quite a large explanation on developer.apple.com, but the brief explanation for it is you don't want to play sounds that would interrupt the user sort of unintentionally, things like keyboard clicks and stuff that they probably don't want happening when they want the device to be silent. But you do want to play sounds that resulted specifically from user actions that were specifically designed to play sounds, like playing music or setting an alarm on the clock, things that the user actually asked specifically they want a sound to play. So when I go to bed at night and I have the alarm set and I have the ringer switch off, it's still going to go off? It will still.
Okay, because I'm really freaked out about that. There's too many times on my regular alarm clock where I've set it off by an hour, or I turn the volume down, and okay, that's good to know.
Even with the ringer switch on, your alarm still plays.
Is it? Okay, so there you go. There you go. Josh gets a sketchbook. All right, so now we're going to look at the play long system sound, right? And we'll see what that does here. Let's look in code. As you can imagine, I don't need to show you the nib, right? It's all just wired up. The buttons go to the IB actions. You should be familiar with that. So play long system sound. What we do in here is we're going to, we have a song that's embedded in our app bundle. And it's you, me, and love.mp3. So we get the URL for that. And then we initialize the AV audio player. We get a player back. And we set ourselves as the delegate. Then down below, if we're playing, we're going to tell the player to pause. And if we're not playing, we're going to tell it to play. Player is an instance variable for the class. So here we only create it once. So if I keep hitting that button, it's not going to recreate the player, but it will come in here and toggle the play and pause. Now for delegate methods, well, we actually can't demonstrate this because I'm on a computer, not on a phone. But what we do with the delegate methods is when we get an interruption, we're going to tell the player to pause immediately. So if somebody calls me and I'm listening to a song through this app that I made, the audio will pause. When the phone call ends, we get the end interruption callback, the delegate method, and we tell it to play again. So, yeah.
Can't you simulate it by like pushing that menu option that says like simulate lock? Is that considered an interruption when you lock your phone?
Question is, when you simulate the lock in a simulator, is that an interruption? And I don't know. Let's try that. Let's try that. In fact, I wonder, you can simulate phone call. I wonder if that's actually, if that does it too. Let's give it a shot. Okay, and then another thing down here, so that's our play long sound. There are two other methods here. There's the skip forward and skip back. Right, so what we do in the skip forward is we take the current time of the player, we add 30 seconds, and we assign that back to the current time of the player. And in the skip back, we subtract 30 seconds. So I can scrub forward and back. Yeah?
Does that truncate at the end of the ends of the clip?
Right, question is, does that, so if you go beyond the 4 minutes or whatever the song is, does it truncate? And yeah, it does. It knows the length of the audio that it's trying to play, so if you go too far, I believe it actually stops it for you. So if you, if the song's 4 minutes and you go to 4 minutes and 15 seconds and then you try to go back, it's done, stopped. So let's do that. So we're going to play the long sound. All right, it's the beginning of the song. Cool little piano intro. Skip forward 30 seconds. Nice little trombone. I know there's a part here where there's a trombone solo I really like, so I think I skipped forward too far. Oh, something's happening. It's pausing. Anyway, if I toggle this button, as you remember from that method, it's going to toggle between play and pause. Pause. All right, so pretty simple stuff, right? There's 30 seconds forward. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, okay. What I want to show you is another way you can interact with this, right? So this is a fixed 30 seconds forward and 30 seconds back. Well, we can do a little more fine scrubbing, right? Scrubbing is basically being able to manipulate the time. So let's add a slider. Go into our nib. Let's hide that. So let's put a UI slider. And this is going to be our scrubber. Now we'll go back to here. We'll add a new action, which is IB action scrub. And we're going to take the sender. Right? We're going to know that the sender is a slider, conveniently. And it's okay to make that assumption. If you know that you have one view that's calling an IB action, it's okay to know that that's a slider. So UI slider equals, we're going to cast the sender, slider, sender. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the current time to be the player duration, times the slider's value. Right, so I'm going to take whatever the duration of that song is, and I'm going to multiply it by a number from 0 to 1, which is the slider value, and we're going to set that as the current time. So here we'll hit run. I'm going to play. Oh, why is that not showing up? Right. Audio view. Strange. Well, one thing I needed to do here that I forgot, and I always forget, is to hook up the slider as to the scrub action. And let's kill it and run again. Okay, so here we have our scrubber. It's hooked up to the action. When I hit play, it's going to play. Right. And actually